Coming up, we bring you highlights from the 2014 annual TIMA convention from Hualien, Taiwan. In Taipei, an 86-year-old senior holds an art exhibition at the Songshan Liaison office. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Mary Lee. Thank you for joining us. Today, we bring you more on the 16th annual TIMA convention that took place in Hualien, Taiwan from September 7th to the 10th. TIMA members from the United States and the Philippines share their experiences in promoting Tzu Chi's medical mission locally, and we meet Dr. Juan Menza from Paraguay, who, despite having to receive ongoing dialysis treatment, overcame his physical discomfort and seized the opportunity to join counterparts in Taiwan.
Fully focused, this is TIMA Dr. Juan Menza from Paraguay, who is attending the annual TIMA convention for the 6th consecutive year. Menza, who began receiving dialysis treatment earlier this year, overcame his physical discomfort and arrived in Taiwan after a 50-hour journey to join his Dharma family in Hualien.
I had to come back and recharge. I'm attending the TIMA conference so that I can exchange ideas and medical knowledge with doctors from other countries. I look forward to gaining valuable insight, and it gives me confidence to strive on. So no, I don't feel tired at all.
Menza has never missed an opportunity to help the sick. His selfless actions inspired his family to join TIMA. Apart from attending the conference with his wife and daughter this year, Menza also vows to use his expertise to help more people who are suffering.
It motivates me to go back home and do more. We have a Tzu Chi retreat in Paraguay, so I want to set up a consultation room there to conduct more free clinics.
Since 1998, TIMA volunteers in the Philippines have been conducting free clinics in Zamboanga and established the Tzu Chi Great Love Eye Center and the Great Love Physical Rehabilitation Center. Although many residents live in poverty, Tzu Chi volunteers' selfless giving allowed the cycle of love to continue to flourish.
We show our patient the love and they felt the love. It's very easy for them to pass the love. That's why at the end of each mission, you can see there, like everybody is in a hurry to donate because they would like to pass that love around.
With their mobile clinics, TIMA volunteers in the United States have been tending to the needs of local residents who lack access to basic medical care. In treating both the patients' bodies and minds, these volunteers also hope to inspire more people to join their ranks.
As the annual TIMA convention in Hualien, Taiwan concluded on September 10th, the day before, doctors from Taiwan took to the stage to share with their international counterparts the joy and difficulties of their many free clinics island-wide. In Taiwan, TIMA members often journey to remote areas to safeguard the health of residents and educate disadvantaged groups on the subject of good health habits. Working closely with the Taichung Tzu Chi Hospital, Central District TIMA members visit patients paralyzed by gun wounds at home so that they are not put to the trouble of visiting a hospital.
The medical field is a mobile cultivation ground. It gives all the participants, including the brothers and sisters, the nurses and the doctors who attend the event with us, a chance to gain wisdom. This path that we are on is one on which we should remain steadfast.
Not afraid of distances, Eastern District TIMA members have long conducted free clinics in remote areas in and around the Hualien and Taitung regions of Taiwan.
Even when you make a lot of money as a doctor, sometimes you still feel empty inside. But when you give selflessly without asking what's in it for you, you gain a solid sense of fulfillment.
Gaining that same sense of fulfillment, Yunlin, Jiayi, and Tainan District TIMA members also hold free clinics to give disadvantaged groups the help they need and also teach them about good oral health care. To alleviate sickness and suffering, Vietnam Tzu Chi volunteers, along with doctors and nurses from Ho Chi Minh City, traveled to Hai Yun Province to organize a free clinic. Thanks to the free clinic, impoverished residents finally had the chance to see a doctor.
With the help of local volunteers, patients slowly walk into Shunhuan Elementary School in Haiyun Province, where Tzu Chi volunteers are holding a free clinic.
I hope the doctors can cure my sickness. I have been suffering from stomach-related problems for a long time. My husband works as a cement worker, so we can hardly make ends meet.
I am very poor, so I can only take over-the-counter medicine when I am sick. All of us were extremely happy when we heard of Tzu Chi's free clinics.
This time, the free clinic consists of medical personnel and volunteers from Ho Chi Minh City. After a flight to Haiphong City, the team quickly traveled to Hualien province. On the next day, volunteers arrived at the free clinic venue early in the morning to clean up the surroundings. Touched by Tzu Chi volunteers' effort, many local doctors and nurses reach out with a helping hand.
It is great to be able to alleviate sickness and see patients go home with much needed medication. Patients kept thanking me. I'm extremely moved.
Although I am only contributing a little, I am still very happy because I had the opportunity to give patients a thorough health check.
Free haircut services were also offered along with free massages by a group of visually impaired people who had received help from the Buddhist NGO in the past. Besides offering free medical treatment, at the request of a mother, medical personnel and volunteers also conducted a home visitation to give a polio patients a thorough health check.
With the hope of serving more dialysis patients and relieving them of their suffering, Tzu Chi volunteers in Penang, Malaysia have been soliciting funds for the soon-to-be-completed dialysis center. Recently, a kind-hearted entrepreneur, Dato Sri Calvin Q, generously donated more than $34,000 for the dialysis center, hoping to help more dialysis patients improve their quality of life.
With the venue full to the brim, here in Penang, staff members of Mini Circuits Technologies are celebrating the company's anniversary. While thanking his staff for their dedication and hard work, Chairman Dato Sri Calvin Q is also donating $34,400, the equivalent of 2 dialysis machines for the Tzu Chi Dialysis Center.
I think Tzu Chi Dialysis Center is one of the best medical as well as community service we could possibly provide for the needy. I feel we are not just helping the patient themselves, we are also helping the people who are the family members.
Companies are often seen as focusing solely on profit and gain, but Q has built his company's foundation on love. Having grown up in an impoverished family, he worked hard to obtain a scholarship to study abroad. Now a president and CEO of a multinational company, he makes it a point to encourage his staff to give back to society.
A lot of people say, in fact, there are people who tell me that if you participate in Tzu Chi event, you have to be rich and wealthy. That's not true. If you donate a ringgit a month, that is participation. For our own members of the Mini Circuits family, if you want to participate financially, I'll match you dollar to dollar.
With the construction of the dialysis center nearing completion, volunteers hope that with the combined efforts of all, the center will be able to extend its services to more patients in the near future.
Taiwan's Ministry of Education has been trying to revamp the nation's education and turn the Republic of China into the Republic of Creativity. Today, we launch a new series to examine this age of creativity. The MOE's plan began 15 years ago, and it now works with science centers throughout the country to provide experimental lessons that help strengthen and preserve children's creativity.
我有一只蚯蚓，很有趣。
好。我们的蚯蚓在这边，你看看它的爬，有没有？登场收缩，它就会爬了。
This is not a school, nor is there a fixed class schedule, and today's lesson is none other than earthworms.
有。
一条一条的。他已经连续3天可以。
He has been bringing us real animals for the past 3 days, like fish, shrimps, and worms.
As first graders carefully observe the insect, the instructor teaches them to simulate a worm's motion by using a bendable straw. He also helps the students understand how the blind creature detects light.
闭起来哦，你觉得被光照到的就举手。他不喜欢亮亮的地方，他现在准备要干嘛？
因为他刚刚被照到光，就要跑进去。
The goal of the class at National Taiwan Science Education Center is to help students explore their world and strengthen their curiosity, an element of creative teaching as organized by the Ministry of Education.
Some people say children are natural-born scientists, so we are simply guiding them. When they are curious, they will develop an interest and naturally become creative.
The Ministry of Education has been promoting creative education as early as the 8th National Science and Technology Conference, where it proposed the concept of scientific innovation and value creation. By the year 2000, the ministry began training instructors for the experimental program, which began implementation 2 years later. The latest program by the ministry, Creativity and Imagining the Futures, hopes to give birth to the attitude of lifelong learning and continuous innovation.
Creativity are found on 3 Ds: diverse,
OK， 我捞到一个。
different, and dynamic.
Back in class, the students are designing their own experiments.
This ball that we are tossing, because of the law of inertia, will not return to the original spot. So if we vary our speed, would the landing point of the ball be different?
Failures are common and accepted in this class.
OK， 这样子。
We conducted some 100 experiments today, but only some 30 worked.
We aren't worried about failing as it leads us to success.
Most importantly, these children learn by doing. As they discover their talents, they are also empowered to go forward.
看里面有没有一些微小的藻类啊，还有微生物那些的。
Finding what you want is not supposed to be easy. It takes patience and attention to details.
Learning through hands-on experience is an integral part of the latest program launched by the MOE.
Through this new program, we hope that our students' creativity and the way our teachers conduct their class will become more diversified.
Learning by doing is a very important part of a learning experience. It's not just about acing exams and memorizing meaningless information.
Such concepts, however, are still not endorsed by most educators in the country, while the public still sneers at vocational school graduates. As the country tries to revamp its educational system to stay competitive, citizens will have to think about just what is best for Taiwan's children.
Next, we meet a senior who took an art class at the Tzu University's Continuing Education Center and has really taken to the canvas to express her talents. Often painting historical events or portraits, 86-year-old Bai Xu Xiuju recently selected 66 of her proudest works for an art exhibition at the Tzu Songshan Liaison office in Taipei, Taiwan.
Here, you can see the devotion in their faces. I like to draw people's faces. It makes me happy when I capture their emotions just right.
Selecting her best work to display, artist Bai Xu Xiuju has nearly a century of memories to share with the public.
When I was 16, the Americans attacked Tainan. Overnight, everyone fled for their lives. The memory is very vivid and I painted it.
The joy and happiness Bai Xu Xiuju receives from painting helped the 86-year-old senior to let go of her bad memories and embrace the more positive side of society instead.
She no longer complains or fuss about things in the past that upset her. When she paints, she naturally finds peace of mind.
I love painting. It's so much fun. Once I start working, I lose track of time. My children have to remind me to take breaks. I'm very content now. All my worries are gone.
For her carefree attitude about life, the artist's classmates and teacher from Tzu University's Continuing Education Center all sing her praises.
Her spirit inspires me. At the age of 86, she has such passion and energy. It's really commendable that she is exhibiting her work.
It is surprising to find an 86-year-old person who has it in her to paint this many paintings. People are the most difficult to paint, right? But she has no fear.
Seeing the world through Bai Xu Shouju's point of view, 66 of the seniors' paintings are on display at the Ciji Songshan Liaison office until the end of September.
In the past, Taiwan's main source of household heating came from charcoal made from the Formosa acacia, but it has been slowly phased out with the onset of natural gas and petroleum usage. Nowadays, the charcoal has found a new audience among the artistic community.
一笼一笼火炭笋，笋到落珠牙齿旁。辛苦少嗰個火炭錢，好一家人好過年。
Suited from top to bottom, a meager income made from converting wood to charcoal is how many Miaoli's Zhaoqiao residents lived 50 years ago.
冇法度啊，都是安尼啊。
That's how it is, this line of work. When we rested, it was on these baskets. We were covered in soot.
Living his life by the kiln, this is how 80-year-old charcoal master Ye Yunlu remembers his younger days. But the once-in-demand job is no longer relevant in modern times. And thus, in Zhaoqiao, he remains the only one left doing this line of work. In the past, 90% of Taiwan's charcoal came from Zhaoqiao, which is why this area is also known as the home of charcoal.
There
was about some 18,000 kilograms of charcoal in one kiln. For 18 days, we would have to guard it, sleep there, to make sure the fire didn't go out. As petroleum and natural gas have come to replace charcoal, this fuel has been given a new lease of life in the artistic field, like in pottery. This wood is about 50 or 60 years old. We select the Formosa acacia because it's naturally a good burning agent. First of all, it sustains the fire well. Another is that there is more oil content in the wood, so when burnt, the range of colors is broader.
Because of the Formosa acacia's oxidation properties, the colors will range from gold to jade green, very much like the farm fields in Yuanli in harvest time, where we see a field of gold with a hint of green.
Working with mediums tied to Taiwan as selective for its hard surface yet delicate features, charcoal artists have found the Formosa acacia to be a good medium to present their talents.
Charcoal is difficult to sculpt. It's not like working with wood. When charcoal falls, it breaks, so of course there is a certain level of difficulty.
Come May and June each year, the blooming Formosa acacia colors the mountain ranges in golden yellow. Witnessing such scenery is really a gift from the heavens.
In terms of flowers, we know chamomile and jasmine flowers are good for antioxidant tea. But Formosa acacia's antioxidant properties are better than those two.
The tree's leaves, bark, and even wood can be used in disease prevention.
It is also an anti-inflammatory agent. It can treat gout and lower uric acid levels.
Overall, the Formosa acacia is not a fancy tree, but the value of the tree lies in the diversity of its parts.
In China's Fujian province, Gao Xueyun's husband passed away unexpectedly and left her to raise their 4 children alone. Needing some help financially, Tzu Chi volunteers stepped in to provide scholarships for the children so they may continue their studies.
He simply closed his eyes and left me with these children.
Gao's husband passed away, leaving her and her 4 children behind. Upon hearing of the family's hardship, Fuzhou Ciji volunteers drove 135 kilometers to visit the Gao family in Pingtan.
My daughter said to me that she wouldn't continue her studies. She said there is no money for school, but I insisted that she continue her studies until the 12th grade. College is going to cost a lot more.
The first problem that came to our mind is tuition, and we were also very worried about our mother.
All of Gao's 4 children are still in school, with the youngest still in junior high school. Since Gao had no means to foot the bill, Ciji's tuition aid was a lifesaver.
I feel very relieved. I'm able to relax a little now.
Even if we have little, we can still help others, and we should. We have been helped and therefore should give back.
After learning more about Ciji's environmental mission and the benefits of a vegetarian diet at a Lunar July blessing ceremony, the chief of Hudong Borough in Taipei's Shezi district decided to ask Ciji volunteers to help organize the borough's Mid-Autumn Festival banquet. To support the eco-friendly way to celebrate the festival, 600 residents attended the event, bringing their own eating utensils.
In Taipei's Shezi district, 20 Ciji volunteers have come together to cook up a vegetarian feast for a very special cause.
The chief of Hudong Borough has invited us to host a vegetarian banquet. I think this is a wonderful opportunity.
Thanks to a Lunar July blessing ceremony, the volunteers are invited back to promote conservation once again.
I thought that these people had probably never tried a vegetarian meal, so I prepared a lot of dishes. I will continue to support the cause in the future.
Going meatless helps reduce our carbon footprint and also saves lives. To support the cause, 600 residents of the borough even brought their own eating utensils.
As I have only just begun to adopt a vegetarian diet, I hope to share my enthusiasm with everyone and empower them as well. I think the chief should organize more vegetarian events like this.
Thanks to the borough chief and volunteers, this Mid-Autumn Festival party has been made healthy and meaningful.
Back in China's Fujian province, the scenic view of Yushan Island attracts many holiday makers looking to escape the hectic city life. Due to its popularity, the island also experiences its share of valuable resources simply thrown away as trash. Thus, a recycling volunteer has been working hard to pass on Master Zheng environmental message by actualizing the concept in the local community. We will leave you with these images at the end of the show. Thank you for watching DaAi Headlines. Goodbye.